Hey, everybody, welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. First trading day of the week. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. If you can hear me and I'm coming across loud and clear, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear on our YouTube channel. All right. So, again, it's going to be a very interesting week this week. The market is opening up a little trepid as we start this week. Information coming out this week that could affect the market, whether in a good way or the bad way. So we're just going to keep our eyes on what's going on. And I'm here to prepare you for this week. And we're going to talk a little bit about market timing as well. I'll do that on Mondays more so than doing that on Thursdays. And just to let you know, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but I'm here for you. Want to make sure. Joey says to me, he says, "Hey, you want to cancel today?" I said, "No, I'll be here today." So just bear with me. That's all I ask. Just bear with me. I'm not doing a mug today. I don't think I'm doing a mug today. Joey, am I going to do a mug today?
No.
Joey says no. Joey says no. I've got to listen to Joey because he's not the boss of me. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, I am your boss.
No, you're not my
Yes,
boss.
I am.
No,
Yep.
no. You are so not
Watch.
the boss.
I'm gonna look.
What?
Glenn, disappear. Glenn, come back.
Wow, really? You think you got
See,
that much kind of
listen to
control
me.
over me,
You
right?
listen.
Wow, wow,
You're a good
wow.
employee,
Oh,
Glenn.
you
You're a good
get
employee.
you get the crickets for that. You so get the crickets for that. All right. So again, it's going to be an interesting week. I know. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate that. I'm working on it. New meds for the diabetes. Just my body's got to get used to it. That's all it is. So that's all it is. So we'll get it right. And Joey is not Thanos. Do not feed into Joey. OMG. Do not feed into Joey because you know what happened to Thanos.
I just snapped you away again.
I will be Thor, and you know what happened to Thanos. All right? You know what happened to Thanos. So, all right. Happy Monday, VectorVest Nation from Vancouver, BC. All right. So, let's talk about what's going on in the market. Market's a little down today. The market's a little nervous about the news that's coming up this week. We'll talk a little bit about that. Yeah, don't finger snap. Again, stop feeding into Joey. Stop feeding into Joey. Oh my gosh. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, let's talk about Ron. How are you, my friend? Let's start talking about what's going on in the market. Can I do it this way now? If I do this, I can do that, right? All right, it worked.
Did it?
All right, well, I did it, and I guess I was supposed to do it. Big story coming out today. Start off here is, will the Fed raise or hold rates? Traders bet that they will not. And I think a lot of people, we got news coming out this week from the same investing.com. Let's do that real quick. Tools. Let's go to the economic calendar. Let's see what's coming out this week. A lot of stuff coming out tomorrow, today. S&P, that's the PMI. And the PMI forecast, the S&P Global Composite PMI for November, forecasted at 46.3. It went up a little higher. So I'm still thinking that that's not good news. Let's scroll down. Factory orders, month over month, forecasted at 0.7. Came in at 1, so it looks like we got more factory orders coming in. Still shows a strong economy. Jobs still showing a stronger economy than the Fed wants. These are the things in my mind that are still going to keep the Fed more hawkish than everybody out there thinks. I know that he stated that, it might be getting time to relax the raising of the interest rates. But is the economy, how many of you, let's start off this way. How many of you think that the economy is still strong enough for the Fed to keep raising interest rates at the pace that they're doing it? Type a 1 in the room. How many of you think that he really needs to cut back on the raising of the rates as steeply as he is, type of two in the room. So I'm looking at factory orders. Factory orders are still coming in. People are still spending money. The economy is not as bad as everybody feels that it is as of yet. As of yet, and with this kind of information, the factory orders, the job numbers coming in last week, in my estimation, on paper, folks, on paper, he's still got to keep doing what he's doing. All right. Non-manufacturing PMI, inflation, higher than anticipated. All right. So inflation may have peaked. But is it getting really any better? All right, so this is all Monday stuff. Tomorrow, exports, imports, and that's going to be interesting to see. Are we still exporting more? Are people still buying stuff? Is the dollar still strong? And if the dollar's still strong, that's going to affect the exports. Red Book, vehicle sales, Wednesday, mortgage, crude oil. Crude oil could be important too, because how many of you still trading oil? I still have WTI. I'm getting killed in it, but I still have WTI. And then Thursday, jobless claims, but Friday is the big news. Core PPI. And this is going to be what really moves the market going into the weekend. All right, so great to have a story about inflation coming out on Friday just before the weekend starts. And we'll see. So that's the stuff in Michigan inflation expectations. More oil stuff, but that's what's got the market, especially on Friday. That's what the market's got its panties all up in a bunch. Can I say that, Joey? Joey is slow. That's all right. Good day, good people, good morning, good afternoon. All right, so interesting. I just wanted your insights on the news that's coming out this week and how you felt about it. How about this? Because China is cutting back a little bit or relaxing the COVID zero tolerance a little bit. Chinese stocks started moving pre-market but pulled back. U.S. listed Chinese stocks give up earlier gains as investors digest reopening shift. Next one, stocks making the news. I've got all of these into a watch list coming from CNBC. Let's go take a look at them. Tesla cuts output plan for Shanghai. That's a big company, the big boys when it comes down to EVs. And look at that. How is that going to affect Tesla? I think it's going to affect Tesla in an adverse way, but we'll keep our eyes on that. So those are my main stories. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on stories today, but I wanted to bring out to you some of the big stories, especially in regards to the Fed, and especially to some of the stocks that are moving today. I was going to have a guest on today, was going to have Jim Penna back on, but our schedules didn't match up for him to be on today. So I do want to talk about the Options Jumpstarter course, a beginner's guide in profitable options trading. Jim Penna and Brian D'Amico are offering free webcasts starting this week on December 7th. Two webcasts, free webcasts on December 7th, one on December 8th. Free beginner's guide to options trading. So I want you guys to support them. Go to www. Joey will put the link. There it is. Joey put the link in there for you. I need VV Nation to support this. Hit that link and join one of these classes. Again, folks, it's free. If you don't know anything about options, give it a listen. That's all I'm asking you to do. Give it a listen. If you are trading options, you're not doing very well, give it a listen. And for those of you who are trading options and you're doing well in them already, this is probably a little simple. You probably don't want to go to this from that perspective, but this is for the brand new person in getting into options. What else do we have? Oh, we got another thing. We've got something called the 28-day portfolio challenge. Right now, I've got a short video on the YouTube channel explaining a lot more about it, but it's free. It's a 28-day portfolio challenge, teaching you how to get rid of the stocks that are in your portfolios that are hurting you. You're not sure what kind of stocks to get into? We'll help you with that. And this is a lot of hand-holding. And you don't know when the right time to buy them. We're going to teach you how to know what your stock is, if it's undervalued or overvalued, the type of stocks that you have, the type of stocks that you really need to make the decision to get out of, and showing you how to find better stocks to put in your portfolio. Join the challenge. It's free. Go to www.vectorvest.com/28. All right. Again, www.vectorvest.com/28. It's free, and we will handhold and walk you through how to best put your portfolio in the best light. All right. And last but not least, one more story from our blog. Go to our main website, www.vectorvest.com. Go over to the blogs. Every day we try to put new hot stocks in here for you to keep your eyes on. And today, this story is about Spectrum Brands. It went up 20% on likely asset sale. Should you still buy the stock on the hype or wait for confirmation? So we're going to take a look at that stock as well. Again, for those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software and you want some ideas about stocks to either buy or stay away from, we provide you with a new stock almost every single day on our blog. And on our blog, we have other things as well, from a swing trading perspective, from an options perspective, and also from a retirement perspective. That invite goes out to all of you who are not subscribers to the software. And if you do want to take a trial to the VectorVest software, Joey will put a link in there. We're offering still a trial. Look at that right there. 99-cent trial offer, holiday sale, 99 cents for 30 days. Folks, you can't get a deal like that for a system like this anywhere. All right, so we're still offering that out there for you as well. All right, so let's get into the software. And from the software, I think I want to start off with what's going on with the major indices. All right, the major indices were all down and the VIX is up. Now, the VIX is up. That means volatility on the S&P 500 is up as of right now. That means people are a little bit more fearful going into the market today. All of the major indices are down, with the Russell 2000 down almost 2.5%, which tells me that people are scared enough to get out of the lower dollar stocks that are more aggressive. They don't want to be in those aggressive stocks today, according to what the Russell 2000 is doing today. But all of the major indices, to include our VectorVest composite, are all down in excess of 1% today. Good afternoon, Marguerite. Let's do some market timing. Let's go bring up no, I don't want to do it this way. Let's go to graphs. Let's go to the market timing graph. How many of you, and I'm going to put this on a 3-month graph, how many of you are nervous in the market right now? Type of 1. How many of you are confident that you're doing the right thing in the market? Type of 2. All right, I want to see that. How many of you are nervous in the market right now? Type of 1. How many of you are of the mindset that you're confident that you know what you're doing and you're focused? Type of 2. All right, so when I say that, I'm thinking that the majority of the people who are in here who are VectorVest subscribers should be typing in a 2. All right. For those of you who are not subscribers, and there's many of you who are subscribers who are still nervous. Jeff says 1, but VectorVest Portfolio Manager tells me to do the right thing. There you go. And again, it still is an invite to push a lot of you non-subscribers to at least take a trial to the VectorVest software. Now, as I look, I see how many people in here. I want you guys to do me a favor. I love bringing this content to you, and my job is to bring you great information. Do me a favor right now. Hit that, copy the link at the top of this for the live stream. Share this live stream right now. Let's give other people in your social circle the benefit of knowing the power and the flexibility behind the VectorVest system. I'm looking, we got about 170 people. We need to have more people up in this room, especially in times right now where people are nervous in the market. Let's get them and settle their minds. CPR self says 2. So I got a lot of people in here that say 2, but I've got a good number of people who are typing in a 1 as well. So let me talk to you right now for those people who are nervous. 1, here's our market timing graph looking at the VectorVest composite. Remember, this tracks the movement of about 9,000 stocks. I can clearly see and I'm going to extend this line. I can clearly see that we're still overall in an uptrend. And you hear me say this a lot, that one day doesn't make a trend. All right. So we've got a down day today, but it's testing this level of an uptrend, level of support. And you know something? There's two things that I'm looking for right now. One, if the market has legs to the downside, I've got several levels of support and resistance. Let's clear all of these first. All right. And the VectorVest system will draw the support and resistance for you. Bingo. Look at that. We will set up support and resistance levels for you. How about coming off of this 1 month high on the VectorVest composite, pulled back? I'm using moving averages of a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average, which does a good job of still keeping you in the market, taking out the noise when the market wants to move erratically, right? Even the big pullback right here today, but the 3 and the 8 stayed positive. Today is a down day. The 3 and the 8 still haven't crossed, the 3 hasn't crossed below the 8, and we have this trend line which hasn't been broken. I've also do have, though, a support level of 56.41 on the composite that has been broken. I'm giving you 3 opportunities right now from this graph to show you if the market has some downside. Now, Jim says VectorVest uses hindsight. All right, Jim, if you think that, what am I showing you? I'm showing you currently what's going on right now. All right. 3, I'm confident in my abilities, but the market is not behaving as expected. I was a lot more confident a year or 2 ago. All right. I want all y'all to take all that off the table right now and look at what this graph. For anybody, Jim, who says that this is hindsight, I'm going to give you 3 opportunities right now to tell you if the market is really got some legs to the downside. I got step 1 that just happened. I have a level of support that just got broken, 56.41. Boom. That's 1. My second level, looking at the 3 crossing below the 8. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Looking at this trend line from the October low. Well, that hasn't happened yet. So, Jim, from a hindsight perspective, this is not hindsight. This is now sight. How many of you agree with that? That I'm not looking at hindsight right now, that I'm preparing you for what's actually going on in the market. Type of 1 in the room if you believe that, and type of 2 in the room if you agree with Jim that I'm looking at hindsight to prepare you. I'm just curious to know. I'm showing it to you as it's happening right now. This ain't hindsight. So I've given you 3 opportunities as a VectorVest subscriber to be prepared, right now. To be prepared right now. Jim was answering a prior question. Is that what happened? All right. If that was the case, man, I'm just jumping all over the place. But this is the information. This is the information that we try to bring to you every time we do a live stream. Right now, a down day is a down day. One day doesn't make a trend. But I can clearly see on this VectorVest composite to be, I'm not going to call it be nervous. I'm going to say adjust your stops. That's all. I'm going to say adjust your stops. Tighten the stops. Because if the market still has legs to the downside, I'm going to see the 3-8 cross. I'm going to see this trend line be broken. And then how much downside do I have? I've got 2 more levels of support to break through. All right, so that's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. And Jim, if I went in on you, I apologize. I just saw that. I hear that a lot, that we always do everything hindsight. All right, that we always... And when I can bring it to you live and direct, I'm going to take the opportunity to express that this ain't hindsight. So, Jim, again, if I just went in on you, I apologize. I just want everybody to know that I want you to just be prepared right now. Does that make sense, Jim? Does that make sense? That's all that I'm doing. All I want you to do is just be careful right now. We are coming off a 1-month high on the VectorVest composite. It's coming down because the Fed will increase interest rates. Remember, I started off the session today by saying that this is going to be one of those markets right now until the news comes out. The Fed doesn't raise interest rates. I don't think that's not until next week. The decision comes out next week. But the scuttlebutt out there is that he's going to cut back. He's going to only raise 50 basis points. A lot of people feel that way. Personally, I think that with the data that's still coming out, with the jobs market, with other things that are still coming out, that he's going to still stay with the 75 basis points. Now, he does hear the chatter, everybody telling him that he's got to slow down because the rate of increases is, and I showed a graph on one of my live streams that said that this is the fastest rate of increase over the last, 20 years or so in raising interest rates. So that's big. And I think that people are feeling it, that people are letting him know. And, I think that he's got a duty to go after inflation the way he said he was going to, that it was the number one priority. All right, that it was the number one priority. I will ask this, I'll ask again. This is what Jim replied to the end of the Friday. VectorVest was a strong green as I've ever seen. This morning, VectorVest don't buy strong green. All right, how many of you watched the special presentation on Friday that I did? All right, and I think that goes right along with what's going on in the market. Looking at the MTI, the market timing indicator, I gave ideas of what to look for, what confirms looking at the underlying trend of the market. So I think that video, a lot of people watch it on YouTube, but that video is indicative of what's going on in the market right now. The only way to predict the future is to look at and study the past. I'm with you on that, and I agree with that. But when the opportunities present themselves, that we're not looking in the past, that we're looking at the now and how to discern what to do with the now, that's even more important when we can bring that to the forefront now. I'm looking at the results of our last several campaigns. We rightfully started waiting for a confirmed up. Now, even with a confirmed up, we have elected to stay in cherry pick mode. You're talking about in the jockey club, Mark? You talking about in the jockey club? I don't think we have a campaign running. I think we wanted to stay in the cherry pick mode for the time being because I agree with you. I think that with what's going on in the market is clearly giving us the signs that it's still okay to buy, but we can still do it with the mindset of knowing to still be cautious. If I go back to the homepage, what is the guidance saying? If we go back to the guidance says VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. Well, that's because we got a red light in the RT column, which means that the trend of the market is starting to push back down. It's starting to push back down. Mark says, I was commenting on my unease in the market predictability. I got you. All right. So with all of that being said, this is where we stand in the market. A down day today. News coming out this week. Earnings coming out this week. A lot of different things going on. And I think that investors are kind of nervous. But I think that as a VectorVest subscriber, we got you right on point. We still are in a confirmed up call. This trend is still in place. The 3 and the 8s are still in place. But I am going to caution you that we have broken through a level of support on the VectorVest composite. All right. For the majority of you in the room, does this make sense? That's yes or no. Does this make sense? I don't want to predict. All I want to do is prepare. That's all I want you to do is be prepared. Down day doesn't make a trend, but a couple of things are still holding the market up. That's all. A couple of things are still holding the market up, but I do have one red flag that from the VectorVest composite, we have broken through a level of support. All right? All right, so I don't want anybody to panic. I don't want anybody to Katie bar the door. I don't want anybody to say the sky is falling. My purpose right now is preparation and to keep you focused. I want everyone in this room to be focused on your trades, tighten your stops, how it fits you, how you invest in the market, and let's go from there. All right. So that's market timing. Again, on Mondays, I will spend a little bit more time talking about market timing to get you in an understanding of what's truly going on in the market. All right. Now let's get back into, where was I? I wanted to be here. I wanted to stay here. Let's go talk about in my viewers, we talked about the indices already. Everything is just down. How about the Dow though? Right now is now less than 1% down, still sitting at 0.97, 0.98. All right, so the Dow trying to do a little bit of recovery, not really, but it's the only indice now that is not down over 1%. Here's my big news story. So that article that talked about a lot of different stocks that were in that Murphy Oil, United Airlines. If we go back to, let's do this real quick. Web view. Um, Here's some of the stocks. United Airlines rose after Morgan Stanley upgraded it. Starbucks fell after Deutsche Bank downgraded it. Silvergate went up 3% after another downgrade. It dips 3% after a downgrade. Chinese stocks were on the move today with further eased COVID restrictions, but people are sitting back going, let's go take a look at that. So Baidu, Pinduoduo, Alibaba, Bilibili is in there. Johnson Controls. I used to work for Johnson Controls a long time ago. That was my only job in corporate America. And they turned around. I used to be a salesman for Johnson Controls, selling a whole lot of stuff. And you know something? Some of my biggest customers were in the World Trade Center because I'm a New Yorker. So 9/11 really sucked. I had a lot of customers in both World Trade Centers for Johnson Controls. They rose slightly after Deutsche Bank named its top pick heading into 2023. All right, MGM's jumped more than 3% after Truist upgrade. Murphy Oil jumped, it got upgraded, and Domino's Pizza rose after BTIG upgraded the stock to a buy. So those are the stocks that made up my list today. And we're going to take a look at them real quick. All of them are buys or holds, no sells in here. A lot of these have relative values above 1. So that means that these stocks have some good upside potential. Out of the 12, looks like 5 of them have relative values above 1. Only a couple of them have relative safeties above 1, which means they either meet or exceed earnings expectations. Only 2. Domino's Pizzas. How many of you have seen the Domino's Pizza commercials now with the EVs? GM is going to be a beneficiary of that because they said they've got over 100 electric vehicles out on the road delivering pizza, and they're looking to buy hundreds more. So GM is going to be a beneficiary of that, and it's the EV, what is it, the Chevy Bolt that they're using. But the commercials are all over the place. Starbucks, everybody loves Starbucks. My wife, I think, owns stock in Starbucks. She should own stocks in Starbucks and Amazon. She does own stock in Amazon. Well, as much stuff as she buys from Amazon, it's amazing that Amazon hasn't come and given us the VIP treatment so we can fly on the VIP plane anywhere we want. But my wife does have shares of Amazon. I was like, baby, you don't want to do that just quite yet. Yeah, I do. I said, who's the guy that does the stocks? And who's the one that does respiratory therapy? And who's the guy that does stocks? Maybe we should listen to each other. But listen, my wife is like, I'm holding it for the long term. Go for it, baby. Go for it. And she's holding Amazon. She's feeling a little bit of hurt. But I think long term Amazon's going to be good. All right, Johnson Controls. Which stocks out of this list of stocks in the news are moving up the most? Let's sort the list by relative timing. All of the stocks are in uptrends. All of the stocks are in uptrends. All right, Francisco says you have to use VectorVest and you use the best judgment. I'm going to say guidance and judgment together. It would be guidement. That could be a Glenism. David, are you here? Guidement. Francisco just gave me a great idea for a Glenism. Guidement. Oh, David, are you here? You got to put that in the book if you're here. You got to put that in the book. All right, so here's the list. Again, all of the stocks that are here are either buy or hold recommended. Let's go take a look at these. So these stocks are all made the list. Most likely, a lot of them are because they got upgraded or downgraded. Let's go to graph layouts. Let's go put this on the swing side of things. Glenn, swing, looking at my 20-day exponential moving average. Oh, no, I didn't want it there. Why? Because I didn't want value on right now. There we go. Pinduoduo, that's a Chinese stock because maybe the easing of the COVID restrictions could get that running. Before I look at this, though, I want to make sure that it's running above that 20-day exponential moving. What is that? That's one. Let's go put me on a 3-month graph. There we go. Look at that. Pinduoduo, and I've got a few people who have thanked us for getting them into this stock. Look at the earnings per share, definitely running higher. Let me move this over a little bit. Earnings per share definitely moving higher. A little bit of a give back day today. Just be careful with it today. Wow, Billy ain't doing so good. How about United Airlines upgraded? All right, look at the earnings per share. A little bit of a shooting star pattern, which could be setting up for a down day tomorrow, but definitely above the 20-day exponential moving average with rising earnings per share. Murphy Oil, man, it stopped right at a level of support sitting at 45.60 below the 20-day exponential moving average. I do like the earnings per share. I'm looking for a better buying opportunity. Give back to us, Glenn. What do you mean? I'm giving back to you. I'm trying to help you guys out. That's from Fireblazer. Johnson Controls above the 20-day exponential moving average of a little bit of a sideways move, broke above level of resistance. Friday came back below. So a little bit more of consolidation, even though it's above the 20-day, and looking at rising earnings per share. SPB Spectrum Brands. This was the story that was in our blog. Man, it rose, but look at that. Now, what's that candlestick pattern right there? Anybody know? What's the candlestick pattern, 2-day pattern? What's that called? Big jump up, and this is why I love having VectorVest. The stock jumped up on some kind of news, but what was earnings doing? That's a foretelling right now. That's not looking back in time. That's as of right now what's going on. What's that candlestick pattern? Nobody answered me. Nope, it's not a shadow. Anybody? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. There you go. Thank you, Marguerite. It is a bearish harami. Which could be setting up for more downside to Spectrum. So even though the stock went up on news, I love that VectorVest gives you the idea of knowing that earnings were already falling, and earnings is the engine that drives a stock price higher. All right, Domino's Pizza. Right now, trading at a level of support, sitting at $3.79. How does a pizza company get to be so expensive? They serve pizza, and it's almost a $400 stock. They serve pizza, for goodness sake. Anyway, trading right at a level of support of $379.05, definitely above the 20-day exponential moving average. Watch the earnings per share. They could be getting into the market with EVs, all right, which could be good for business, especially if they're looking for less carbon emissions. But the company's got to make money. All right. And if a company is losing, now their earnings per share, don't get me wrong, their earnings per share is sitting at, where is it? Where's the EPS? Is EMA volume. The earnings per share is sitting at $14.26, but it's falling. All right. So they're making money. They're just not making as much money. Just keep that in mind. And it could be a lot of different things. It could be inflation. Maybe people are not ordering as much pizza. All right, but just keep that in mind. It is falling. It's not negative, but it is falling. Fireblazer. So it says it's priced like oil. Is it really? I'm not putting oil up there. Cheese is a fat oil base. Wow. I could be good for their image, but they need to upgrade their product first. All right. Listen, I like Domino's. I'm a Pizza Hut kind of guy, though. What kind of pizza you guys like the most? Put your favorite pizza place up there. I'm a Pizza Hut person. Nobody out pizzas the Hut. Out Hut's the pizza. What is it, Joey? Nobody out pizzas out. Joey, do you not know the commercial? Are you listening to me?
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Nobody out pizzas the Hut. All right. So I am a Pizza Hut kind of guy anyway. Other stocks in there, Starbucks. Watch the earnings all over the place. You know something? Papa John's. I do like Papa John's pizza. Who was the other one? Little Caesars, pizza.
Better
Any
pizza,
local
better
pizzas?
ingredients.
Huh?
Better pizza, better ingredients.
That's Papa John. They had an issue with public relations for a minute, didn't they? They did. That was a PR thing with the owner. He's not there anymore. Badger says frozen, then hot out of the oven. It's not it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno, says Badger. All right. Great American Pizza. You know something? I'm with you, Bob. Any local pizza shop is better than I've got a couple local pizza shops in Mooresville that I really, really like. But if I'm looking at a national brand pizza, I am a Pizza Hut kind of guy. All right, I'm a Pizza Hut kind of guy. All right. Nobody said Little Caesars. Pizza. Now we're ready. A lot of advertising goes into all of these pizza places. Just think of all the taglines that I just said, all from these commercials. Starbucks, we don't ever see a Starbucks commercial. I wonder if we ever get to a point in time, if earnings look like, do they ever start to go out on some kind of a campaign for advertising? Something to just think about. All right, so be careful with Starbucks. I like the move. I'm just not feeling the earnings. They're still positive, but they're all over the place. But the move is above the 20-day. If you're in it, leave it alone. I'm just looking at it long-term from the earnings perspective. Alibaba, that was a Chinese stock, also giving some give back today. MGM, upgraded. Even with the upgrade, why upgrade when the company is pulling back on their earnings? I'd be careful with MGM. It is above the 20-day. It's a little bit more volatile in the move. If you don't like this kind of volatility, this is not a stock that you want to get into. But I can't deny it is a bounced off support above the 20-day, a little bit of a shooting star pattern. All right, Costco New York style pizza. It's even available in the Philippines. Huge, delicious slices. Wow. Costco. I'm a BJ's kind of guy. All right. But I'll check that out and see if BJ's got it. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Roger says Little Caesars is the worst. Is it really? I don't eat much Little Caesars. Joey, you ever eat any Little Caesars pizza?
I don't think there's a Little Caesars around us, but I used to.
Okay.
We used to get that Bigfoot pizza. It was like 2 foot of pizza or something. Ridiculous.
That's a lot of pizza. All right, let's go take a look at earnings this week. I'm still working on getting the pizza dough right. Roger, you got your own pizza? Oh, sookie. All right. Big earnings this week this is another company. They do auto parts. And it's trading at $2,500. It's auto parts. Sigh. Anyway, earnings coming up this week. Academy Sports. I like Academy Sports over Dick's. I'm Academy Sports kind of guy. Express, Thor Industries, very badly. Lovesac. Lovesac's just a little old place where we can get together. Lovesac, baby. Lovesac, baby. All right. That's my singing for the day. Ollie's, good stuff, cheap. Cons, a lot of retail reporting this week. Give us some dough, Glenn. I'm working on it. They're in the zone. Oh, wow. That, crickets. Giving you crickets for that. I'm so giving you crickets for that. Casinos in Macau will do well when China opens up. A lot of places are going to do well when China opens up. People want to get out of the country. They want to travel. All the businesses that are in China are being affected adversely by China. Apple's starting to move a lot. Apple was one of the big companies that stated that they're going to start moving stuff out of China. I think other companies are going to follow because you can look at this whole COVID fiasco is affecting goods around the world. And I think a lot more, I think India is going to be a beneficiary of that. A lot of people are going to be moving over to India. I did a story that by the year, 2030, that India is going to be the third biggest economy. All right. So India, and I gave you a stock, INDA, to keep your eyes on, an ETF for India, INDA. Fastest moving industries. Let's go see what's moving. Let's go to Unisearch. Let's go to Delta Searches Industries. You want the bread? You want the dough? Let's go see what's moving. Delta 10-day RT, Delta. See what industries are on the rise. All right, is everybody got their pencils out? Everybody's got their pencils out, yes or no? You got your paper and pencils out? I'm going to hook you up right now. Let's go see what's on the rise. All right. 10-day delta on media, 43, 10. Nope, that's going down. That's going down. This is going up. Media newspapers, 12% on a change of relative timing. And now today, over the last 10 days, up 24. All right, let's go see what stocks are in there. Let's go see what stocks I like in there. This is an industry that's starting to move. Many of you are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, so I'm only going to give you the top 5. What's in here? What's moving up? Gannett, GCI. Let's look at the top 3 that are in the green today. View the stock graph. Let me see if there's anything in here that I like. Put this on a 1-month graph. I don't like it intraday. Wow. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. What don't I like about it, though? Look at that. That's a 1-month graph on GCI. What don't I like about it, though? All right, what don't I like about it? Who reads the newspapers these days? I can't remember the last time I picked up a newspaper. I don't like the earnings per share. But folks, if I'm looking for a stock to get into right now, I like it from a technical standpoint. The 3, and it's not even the 3 and the 8. Let's go put this a little bit more. Swing, trade. There's the 3 and the 8. For the last month, the 3 has not gone below the 8. Now, what I will say, given the market's conditions, even given the market's conditions, this stock is freaking moving. Without a lot of volatility, folks. And the volume is, you say low volume, the volume for the most part, what's the volume on this date? Let's go to Dateline. What's the volume on this date? I still got a lot of shares. It's being skewered by this big date, but even on these low dates, I still got 294,000 shares being traded. The volume's there. But from the standpoint of finding a stock to get into over the last month, folks, I like this. I like this. Roger says, Gannett, like CNN, is dumping employees. Now, one thing I'm not doing, I'm not looking at the news. I'm just looking at the stocks. All right, Roger, I'm just looking at the stocks. This one I don't like as much, and that one I don't like as much. All right, if I'm looking at a stock in this industry, I do like this. And you know something? If they're dumping the employees to include to help the bottom line, you know something? They must be doing something right, Roger. Bottom left, top right, not a lot of volatility, and the 3 and 8 have had you in it all month long. Let's go see if we can find another industry that's moving. All right. How many of you thought that was useful? Type of 1. That's not a bad looking stock. It could be a good looking trade. It could be a good looking trade. All right. Software, 1623, 16% 10 days ago, up 23% over the last 10 days. Let's go see what stocks are in there. All right. Let's go see what stocks are in there. Folks, all that is just ideas, all right? And I'm just using the ability to see only one stock is moving in here today. Let's go see what these stocks look like over the last month. View the stock graph. Put these over the last month. Here's another stock, all right? Perry, P-E-R-Y, P-E-R-I, $27 stock. Watch it today. A little bit of a gravestone doji. I'd be careful with it today, but over the last month, nicely moving up. Very little down days over the last month, folks. Very little down days over the last month. Same thing with GoTo. All right, that one's an open candle. Not so bad on above average volume today. Something to keep your eyes on. Another one, not that one, not so much. Take 2, not so much. And that one, not so much. So I've got 2 in here. GoTo I do like, and Perry I'd keep my eyes on. All right, so I'm just putting that out there. Is there an angle of ascent that technically indicates that a stock is freaking moving? Yeah, 45 degree. I'm going to call that 45. If it's higher than that, if the degree is higher than that, then it's parabolic. There's a whole different story behind that, but a 45-degree angle. All right, so at least I've given you a couple of stocks to keep your eyes on. All right, nothing more, nothing less. Anybody remember those symbols? I'm going to put them in here. Go to, what were my other symbols that I told you to keep your eyes on? Type them in the room. I want to see what these look like next week. What were the other stocks that I did like? Anybody remember? You were supposed to have been writing them down. Ouch. You guys were supposed to have been writing them down. What were the other stocks? Perry, thank you. PERI, comma, anything else? I want to take a look at them. GCI was another one. There it is. I want to see them next week. So we saw them. Glenn, why not check the 5-day delta so you can get in early? 2-week is late. So as if I could do that. I didn't say anything about XROF. Don't even put that up there. Don't even put up XROF. Listen, because as if I want to go through the process of utilizing that search that's there of the delta change from 10 days ago to over the last 10 days. I think 2 weeks, I'm okay with that. And we're going to see. We're going to see if next week these did us any good. All right, we're going to see if these did us any good. All right, industry ETFs, where's the money going today? Let's go find out where the money is going today. Wow, it's going nowhere. Let's go all. Nothing's making money. No indice. No indice is in the green today. So the market is just all of it. Utilities, healthcare, nothing is making money today. It's just one of those days. All right. My speculative plays. Did I give any speculative plays? Nope. Big movers, today's big movers. These are the stocks that have made big moves today. Are they still worth it? How about stocks like DBGI, SHPH, and EH, and IOVA, big movers today? Let's go see if they're worth it for you to even consider. Big movers today don't mean that they're going to keep going up, right? Side. Oh, Joey, are you handling the mouse? All right. I don't know. There we go. Right click, view the stock graph. Let's go see if any of these big movers today have the wherewithal to keep moving up from today. Let's go take a look. Glenn, your opinion on energy stocks for the rest of 2022? I still own WTI. I think that the cold season is going to make oil move up, but we're going to countries like, Venezuela. OPEC is still, everybody's trying to keep the price of oil going up, and we're trying to flood the market with oil to keep the price going down. From what I understand, we're still giving away strategic reserves. We're still selling strategic reserves, which I pray that no catastrophic thing happens. I think the administration is doing everything that it can to keep oil prices down for the consumer. I agree with that. From that, I don't want us to have to pay a lot of money for gas. But oil is a commodity that needs to be used, and if the demand is high, the natural order of things is to drive, and the demand brings up higher prices. It is, especially if you have low supply. That's a natural order of things. All right, but if we're artificially putting more oil out there to keep the price of oil lower, it's going to bite us in the butt. It is so going to bite us in the butt. So, that's my opinion in regards to it. I think on paper it should still be rising. But if we're artificially keeping it lower, there's not much you can do about it. I still own WTI. So winner, hopefully that's the best answer I can give to you. SRR contra ETF inverse some gains. I got you. We're going to talk about that in a second. So I do like the move on the stock. Even prior to the move on EH, it was trading above average volume, bounced off support. The 3 and the 8 crossed about 4 days ago. That may not be a bad play. That may not be a one-hit wonder. This, Kirk, looks like a one-hit wonder. Was this an earnings play? Yep, it was an earnings play, and look at all of the give back. This is most likely a one-hit wonder. All right. Iova, probably news on, is a drug stock, probably news on a drug. Not a lot of movement. Big gap up, but not a lot of movement now on the stock. I'd be careful with this. This is definitely news driven, but I don't see, by way of the candle, I don't see a lot of conviction. I do see the conviction in the volume, but I don't see it in the candle. Now SHPH, I do like this little wick at the top, bigger wick at the bottom, more buying pressure on above average volume. Prior to today went up, not a ton of wick at the top, more open candle. This may not be a bad play for follow through as a big mover today. And DBGI, open candle, more wick at the top than at the bottom, which shows me a little bit more selling pressure on above average volume. All right, so those are my big movers today. We'll do one more thing. Weekly biotech stocks. I'm always of the mindset I want to try to get you into stocks, these biotech companies, before they make a big move. How often have you seen these biotech companies go up 100, 200, 300% in a day? And I keep putting these stocks out there for you to see. A lot of these have phase 3 analysis going on behind them, or other kind of news behind them that could push these stocks down day today, pushing these stock prices down. Let's go see what my biotech stocks look like last week. Let's go back 1 week. Let's go see if any of these made any big moves. So these were my biotech stocks from last week. All right, let's quick test them all. Wow. This is why I give them to you, folks. This is just why I give them to you. So last week, these were my 4 biotech stocks. 2 of them went up double digits. 1 went down, not a lot. 1 went up just a little bit, but we outperformed the market in just 1 week. I go and try to bring some good stories behind you on these stocks, most likely phase 3 type stuff, most likely phase 3 news that could be moving these stocks. I want you to try to take advantage of these the best way you can. All right. Growth plays. What growth plays do I have? These are my growth plays going into the week. MITT, TK, Sundial, actually, a marijuana stock. Flowtech Nano Dimensions. All right, these are my growth plays. All of these stocks, for the most part, should be undervalued. All right, for the most part, should be undervalued with relative values above 1. Let's go look at my value plays for this week. I've only got 2. I've only got 2 value plays coming into the week, and that's Merck and Clack. Those are my only 2 value plays. Let's go see what my growth plays and value plays did last week. I think that the difference between them gives you some sense of the type of market we are in. If the growth plays do well over the week, we're in a good uptrending market. People are willing to get into growth stocks. Let's quick test these. What did we do? We're down. All right, 4 out of the 5 went down. Only 1 went up. I still love this stock as a lithium play. PILBF is a growth play. I went up 4.62%, but the other 4 went down for a total of down 2.5%. Let's go to my value plays from last week. Lowe's, AVGO, ELV, CDW. Let's go see what they did, what my value plays did. Nice play. They kept up a little bit with the market. 4 out of the 5 went up. All right, so for those of you who are value players, for those of you who are growth players, every week I try to provide you with 5 stocks from each vein for you to keep your eyes on. I think that's all I want. Joey, put me on my last screen. All right, hold on. No, don't put me on my last screen. I will do this. Let's go to weekly customer picks. I'm going to take 5 of your stocks. GFF is one of them. 1, give me 4 more stocks. Let me look at 4 more of your stocks today. All right, I will do that. I will do that. You guys are typing slow. You got a case of the Mondays. DSX, Diana Shipping. I do like shipping. I'm still a fan of shipping right now. I'm going to take them right in order. GRWG, wheat stocks were on the move today. DGII and SGML. Those are my 5 stocks that I'm going to look at today. All right, let's stream these. All right, those are my 5 stocks that I want to look at today. 3 out of the 5 are moving up. Grow. I play weekly options every week. GRWG was one of the stocks that I was going to play an option on today, but I picked a different stock. I picked a different weekly to play. But GRWG made my list, nicely moving up today. One of them is a sell, and it's in the shipping. 4 out of the 5 have good upside potential, though. All right. 2 out of the 5 have safeties above 1. And 4 out of the 5 are in uptrends with relative timing being above 1. Now, interesting about Diana Shipping It's got good upside. The relative safety is below 1. So it's more of an aggressive play. What's hurting it right now is that the stock is in a downtrend. SGML, undervalued, good upside potential, safety below 1, more of an aggressive play in an uptrend and a buy recommendation. GFF, below value, so undervalued, good upside. This one is one of the most fundamental stocks in here with relative value and relative safety both above 1 and RT above 1. GFF I like from a analysis perspective. Digi, a little bit overvalued, fundamentally sound, just means that people are willing to pay a premium to own it, and a buy recommendation. Grow, grossly overvalued, not fundamentally sound at all, but it is in an uptrend and currently a hold. Let's graph all of these. All right, let's graph all of these. Which do I like? Put them on a 3-month graph. DSX, woo! Shipping, when it's working, is good. When it's not, it's not. A lot of selling pressure on the graph today. I'm not feeling it. The 3 went below the 8 almost 2 weeks ago. That was your entry to get out. All right, and it turned into a sell. I'm not interested in Diana shipping right now. Let's go over to SGML. Bottom left, top right, a little bit of volatility going on right now. The 3 and the 8 crossed about 5 days ago, up day to day, but a closed candle, which means the price is below the open, which is a little bit of a bearish, bullish candle. But the 3 and the 8, if you're in it, the 3 is still above the 8, and the stock is still a buy recommendation. GFF, relative value, relative safety, both above 1. What's hurting it? Relative timing above 1. What just happened today? What just happened today? The 3 went below the 8 and approaching a level of support. If you were in this stock, I don't want you to give back more than, I don't want you to give it all back. I see the pullback. I see the 3 and 8 holding, but with today's end of day activity, or, before the end of the day, the 3 did cross below the 8. This is something for you to keep your eyes on. All right. That might be a sign for you to take your profits on that stock. DGII, relative value, relative safety, both above 1. Stock's a little bit of a sideways move, but the 3 went below the 8 on Friday and still remains below the 8 today. Again, that is a great fast sign to get out of a stock to take profits off the table. All right, so we looked at about 5 of your stocks. Now, Joey, put me on the end. SPY heading to 300. Nope, I am so not going to prognosticate where anything is going. Not my thing. I'm all about following what's going on right now to keep you on pace with what to do now, how to focus on your trade. So there you go. All right, how many likes did we get today? 59. Man, you know me. If we brought the heat today, hit that like button. If I've given you some ideas to keep your eyes on, hit that like button, right? It helps us to grow. And hopefully many of you shared this today on your social circles. That's the only way we get to grow. Folks, I pride myself personally, I'm going to speak a little bit personally, on taking the time to put these sessions together to tell you what's going on, how to best handle it, and give you ideas on stocks to keep your eyes on. All right. So thank you, Cigar. I'm working on it. Looks like a good week to let stops do their job. Outstanding. I couldn't say that better. All right. And energy, I would have put VMAR, but I didn't. I still love you to death. All right. So if we get up to 100 likes before we go, it'd be greatly appreciated. If not, it's all good. All right. Joey, thank you for being here. And backing me up, because I love you like a brother. I love you. Thanks, Glenn. Come with silver and gold. Okay, listen, Natasha, I just did a video on it. I did the Friday video on it. I gave you 10 gold and silver stocks to keep your eyes on. All right, so Mark says, do not partake of the goodies that are coming in the VectorVest. Oh, did you send them to me, Mark? I won't. Right now, it's not the smart thing for me to do. It's not the smart.
You need a head of lettuce is what you need.
You need to mind your business, Joey.
Maybe a carrot or two.
No, you still need. You know what Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. All right, folks, I gotta go. At 2:00 though, for those of you who are subscribers, I've got the Q&A for the special presentation. So bring your questions for that. And I think that's it. That's it, right, Joey?
Sounds good.
All right. So, folks, with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Still watch that lava. It's kind of hot. Don't get your feet burned up by that. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.